Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Port Charles 411. Lucky and Liz 24, Lucky 32. I think I forgot to mention on the last episode, the time frame that was covered. That was basically the end of 2006 and beginning of 2007, because today we pick up, it's only 2 months, but it's a juicy 2 months, from March 1st through May 7th, 2007. So just a quick recap of what happened last week. Liz and Lucky were taking steps to rebuild their family, and Jason was struggling with the grief, loyalty, and the pain of staying silent about his unborn child. Lucky persuaded Liz to move into Laura's old house once they remarried, hoping to recreate the sense of stability for their growing family. Nicholas stopped by and learned of their engagement, and he's surprised but supportive. Lulu suggests that they marry right there in Laura's house, honoring her memory. Initially hesitant, Liz and Lucky are swayed by Lulu's sentiment and agreed. Meanwhile, Tracy crashes a private moment between Carly and Jax, where Carly admits she is ready to divorce Sonny. Tracy asks Carly to intervene with Lulu, who is obsessively investigating Rick Weber's murder. Tracy fears the emotional fallout could trigger another breakdown in Luke, and Carly agrees and heads to Laura's house, where she congratulates Lulu on Liz and Lucky's engagement. Lulu is confused by Carly's apparent support, but Carly admits she is glad Liz is back with Lucky because it means she'll stay away from Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole reason why we talked about any of that stuff about the Tracy. It's important to get Carly there.
Yep.
Elsewhere, Liz walks through the park talking to her unborn baby. She admits her doubts, wondering if letting Lucky raise the child is truly the right choice, and silently thanks Jason for his sacrifice. Jason, overwhelmed by Alan's death and the burden of Liz's secret, struggles to stay focused. Carly tries to help him by reminding him that Alan hadn't truly accepted him since the accident. Jason admits that losing Alan hurts more than he expected. Yeah, you can't just be like, no, you're not allowed to feel sad that you lost your dad because he didn't accept you.
Yeah, let me remind you what a bad person your dad was when it came to you, and then you won't feel sad anymore. Like, what? It's still your dad. You're allowed to be upset about it.
Yeah. At the hospital, Liz confronts Jason and asks if he plans to tell Lucky the truth. Before he can answer, Lucky appears to question Jason about the shooting and thanks him for saving Liz and the baby. He also offers condolences about Alan. Afterward, Jason asks Stan to bug Alcazar's hotel room, and Stan questions Spinelli's usefulness, further highlighting Jason's growing internal pressure. So he's dealing with losing his dad, not being able to be a dad, and figuring out Spinelli.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Later, Jason calls Liz to finish their conversation, and he asks again if she is sure about Lucky raising the baby. Liz insists it's the best for everyone except him and apologizes. Jason says he won't visit much as it would raise suspicions, and he'll stop referring to the baby as his. Liz is quietly devastated. Carly arrives shortly after, asking Jason to accompany her to the Dominican Republic to finalize her divorce. He initially refuses, citing Alan's upcoming memorial, but eventually agrees. Isn't that where Bobby went to get divorced from Tony?
I think so. That must be the place to go.
Aw, like mother, like daughter. Before leaving, Jason receives a visit from Liz, who knows Sam is out of town and senses he needs a friend. She tells him she wants him at Alan's funeral and reminds him that part of Alan will live through their child. Jeez Louise, Liz.
I don't want you to be any part of this baby's life, but I'm going to continue saying all these things that make you want to be a part of this baby's life.
Even though he just said he's going to stop referring to the baby as his, like, let him figure this out.
Mm.
Oh, when the baby kicks, Jason reaches to feel, but pulls away, visibly pained. Liz tells him it's okay, but the moment underscores their impossible situation. As Jason and Carly fly to the Dominican Republic, she rambles about her messy love life with Sunny and Jax. Sunny listens quietly, reflecting on how he too has lost something he can't get back. Carly doesn't realize he's really talking about Liz and the baby. Back in Port Charles, Liz and Lucky show Cameron their new home, Luke and Laura's house. They decide to make Lucky's childhood room Cameron's. Lucky and Cameron run off to explore the yard and talk about the baby. It's a picture of a family, one Jason will never be a part of. Meanwhile, Rick runs into Liz at the courthouse and tells her that he has won his custody case. He is surprised to learn that she and Lucky are remarrying. Afterward, Rick picks up Molly from Alexis and leaves her and Christina to say their goodbyes. Okay, so Jake and Christina are supposed to be about the same age. Jake and Molly should be within a year of each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because Molly was just born, right? Like she was at least under a year old, maybe a year or two. But right. Jake and Molly are not, Jake just started college.
Right.
And Molly has been an ADA for years.
Well, Molly is older than Cameron.
Oh, yeah. Well, hold it. How old's Cameron in that? No, because Cameron in this. Well, yeah, Molly is older than Cameron. Man, that would be an interesting 411, putting everybody in birth order.
We should definitely do that.
Okay. Anyway, Rick picks up Molly from Alexis's and leaves her and Christina to say their goodbyes. Elsewhere, Spinelli begs Jason
to let him... Wait. So she mustn't be a baby.
No, Christina was the baby.
Goodbyes. So, Molly...
Christina was the one that was just born recently. Because it was Christina, Sam losing baby Lila helped Christina live. And that's why Jason and Sam were trying... Jason and Sam were trying. Sam must have miscarried. And they were trying to conceive. But that was after baby Lila had passed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, full timeline is jumbled. Either way, Christina.
No, I'm saying that Molly
close to Jake.
No, Christina should be older. Christina is older than Molly, obviously. So Christina would be the older one. But Molly mustn't have been a baby in that scene. Like I don't remember how old she was whenever Rick got custody, but she must not have been a baby if he steps outside so that Molly and Christina can say goodbye to each other.
Yeah, but he just might have stepped. Even if she was in an infant carrier, letting child Christina and her mom say goodbye to the baby.
Yeah, I feel like she wouldn't be a baby. I don't know. We'll have to look at that one again. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Elsewhere, Spinelli begs Jason to let him keep working for Sunny. Jason tells him to be patient. Determined to prove himself, Spinelli hacks into the hospital system and stumbles on the truth. Jason is the baby's father. Shocked, he confides in Lulu, who demands answers. When he resists, she threatens to destroy his laptop unless he tells her what he found. Just as Spinelli confesses, Jason walks in and everything changes. As the day unfolds at the Spencer house, the weight of Liz and Lucky's future together hangs in the air, a tension neither of them can fully escape. They continue to work on the nursery, brushing paint onto the walls while bracing themselves for the unknown. Liz watches Lucky with a mixture of gratitude and sorrow. She's thankful for the life that they're building, but in her heart, she knows it isn't the truth she wanted for Jason and never will be. Meanwhile, Lucky remains blissfully unaware of the deeper conflict brewing within Liz's heart. His optimism is contagious as he paints the room with bright colors, making plans for their future as a family. The pink paint for the baby's nursery feels like a step towards something happy, something hopeful, something that could finally heal the wounds of the past. Even as Lucky talks excitedly about the baby's future, Liz finds herself at a crossroads. The choice to let Lucky raise Jason's child as his own was made out of love, yes, but also out of desire to protect everyone from the painful truth. At that very moment, Emily and Nicholas are at Windermere. She's talking about the visit to the Spencer's house. Emily's resolve is firm. She wants to bring light back to their friendship with Lucky and Liz. She believes in reconnecting over a simple, joyful act like painting a nursery could restore some of the warmth that has been lost over the years. Nicholas is reluctant. He sees it as a superficial gesture, one that doesn't address the deeper, unresolved issues. Emily persuades him. They head to the Spencer house, hoping to make things right, unaware of the storm of secrets looming over the gathering. Back at Jason's penthouse, the weight of the truth begins to crush him. He's been holding on to the lie that the baby isn't his, sacrificing his happiness for the sake of her peace. He's a man torn between the loyalty to his friends and his love for Liz. He can't shake the feeling that his heart is slowly breaking bit by bit. Carly arrives, sensing that Jason is struggling with something deeper than just his usual quiet intensity. Are you sure about this, Jason? Carly asks, her voice soft but probing. Letting him raise your child, is that really what you want? Jason doesn't answer immediately. He looks out the window, his mind far away. I'm doing what's best for Liz, he finally says, but his words feel hollow even to him. And Carly asks if he really believes that and asks if he's pretending that it doesn't hurt. Jason is silent for a moment. The truth of it all weighs on him heavily. He wants to be there for Liz, for the baby, but the sacrifice it requires, standing aside and allowing another man to raise his child, is almost more than he can bear. Carly watches him carefully, understanding more than he says, but doesn't press him further. Instead, she changes the subject, talking about her own struggles with Sonny and Jax and how everything feels like it's slipping through her fingers. As Carly continues to talk about her own fractured relationships, Jason's mind drifts back to Liz. He wonders if he can truly let her go, or if his connection to her and the child she's carrying will haunt him forever. He pushes the thoughts aside, focusing instead on the conversation with Carly, but the pain lingers beneath the surface.
Poor Jason.
I know.
Meanwhile, at the Spencer house, Liz and Lucky share a tender moment. Lucky's joy over their future family is infectious, but Liz feels like an outsider in her own life. As Lucky excitedly discusses names for the baby, Liz can't help but smile at his enthusiasm. But in the back of her mind, she's still wrestling with the decision she made, the secret she's hiding from him. She'll never be able to tell him the truth, not without destroying the family they're trying to build. The doorbell rings and Emily and Nicholas arrive with cupcakes and plans to help with the painting. The mood shifts slightly as Emily and Nicholas's arrival brings a sense of normalcy and camaraderie back to the room. But even as they laugh and paint together, Lulu arrives soon after and the shift in atmosphere is immediate. She enters the house to find Lucky and Liz sharing a moment of intimacy on the couch. The sight of them so happy, so united, makes her stomach churn. She feels like an outsider, and it's a feeling she's come to know all too well. Liz's baby is a secret that no one else can know, not even her. The weight of it threatens to spill over. The group continues to paint, but Lulu's mind is far away. She keeps her distance, quietly watching, though no one seems to notice how deeply troubled she is. The moment they're all waiting for comes when Lulu finally speaks up, her voice quieter than usual. She says nothing about the secret she's keeping, nothing about the discovery that Liz's baby is Jason's, but she can't stop the jealousy and doubt from creeping in. Her heart aches as she watches Lucky and Liz together, oblivious to the truth that is slowly unraveling around them. Unable to contain herself any longer, Lulu excuses herself and heads to the hotel to see Carly. She can't hold on to the secret any longer, but she doesn't know how to confront it. She tells Carly everything she's learned from Spinelli about Liz's baby. Carly listens carefully, her instinct sharp. She understands more than Lulu realizes. Carly, too, has lived with secrets, ones that have torn her apart and ruined her relationships. She knows what it's like to bury the truth, but she also knows that one day the truth always finds a way to surface. Lulu hesitates, but then asks, "Do you still think Liz has feelings for Jason?" Carly hesitates before answering, "Why? What have you seen?" Lulu deflects, unsure of what she's really feeling. "I don't know. I thought I saw something when Liz and Jason talked, but maybe I'm just imagining it." But Carly isn't fooled. There's more to this than Lulu's letting on. "You're not imagining it. You're worried about Liz, aren't you?" Lulu looks away, her feelings a tangled mess. "Maybe, but I'm more worried about Lucky. This is going to destroy him." As Lulu leaves, Carly, who is left with more questions than answers, she wonders if Lulu is protecting more than just her brother, if she's hiding something even bigger than the truth about Rick Weber's murder. As Jason walks into Carly's office, he immediately senses that something's off. Carly, her usual bravado somewhat subdued, wastes no time diving into what's on her mind. She quickly reveals that Lulu had stopped by earlier, visibly upset about something related to Liz and Jason. Jason's brow furrows in confusion as Carly explains that Lulu seems deeply disturbed, though Carly couldn't get a clear answer from her. Jason insists that there's no reason for Lulu to be upset, reiterating that his relationship with Liz is purely platonic. She's marrying Lucky and they're expecting a child together. Despite Jason's reassurance, Carly presses on, unable to hide her concern. She tells him that while Liz might be marrying Lucky, it's clear that Liz has lingering feelings for him and that could cause complications for everyone. Carly warns Jason that Liz might never fully accept him for who he is, which could make things even more difficult in the future. Jason, clearly frustrated, tells Carly to stop meddling in his life. How many times has he said that sentence?
I know.
He explains that she's using this situation with him and Liz as a distraction from her own troubles with Jax and Sunny. Carly tries to deny it, but Jason is firm. He's had enough on his plate without Carly adding fuel to the fire. With that, Jason leaves a bit more rattled by Carly's words than he wants to admit. Back at the house, Liz and Emily are in the middle of discussing the paint colors for the baby's nursery. Emily, noticing that Liz has just had a conversation with Jason on the pier, gently probes her sister-in-law about how she's feeling. Emily asks if seeing Jason again brought up any feelings, or if Liz is having second thoughts about marrying Lucky. Why do people keep questioning her? Like, if you told me tomorrow that you were marrying someone else, I would not keep saying to you over and over and over again, are you sure? Are you sure that's how you feel? I saw you talking to so-and-so. Are you sure? But like, let me be.
Yep.
My gosh. Like, that's not being a friend. Like, you're just harping on the same thing, causing her more issue. Liz, clearly conflicted, admits that she will always care about Jason, but that she's committed to Lucky. She shares that she once thought about what it would be like to be with Jason, but deep down, she knows that their differences are too great for them to make a life together. Liz says that she's certain that marrying Lucky is the right choice for herself, for the baby, and for their future. Emily, sensing the emotional weight of the conversation, apologizes for pushing her. Liz reassures her that it's okay, but there's an undercurrent of unease that neither of them can ignore. After Emily heads out, Lucky returns from upstairs where he's been sorting out some things. He smiles when he sees Liz and they talk excitedly about the nursery. Liz shares her ideas for an African animal theme, something light and fun to decorate the room for the baby. Lucky loves the idea and promises to help her bring it to life. Their conversation is interrupted by a sudden knock on the door. Lucky opens it to find Scott Baldwin standing on the doorstep. Scott, looking unusually serious, expresses his concern about Lulu's investigation into Rick Weber's murder. He warns Lucky that Lulu's probing might uncover dangerous truths that could put her in harm's way. Lucky is understandably shaken by Scott's words, but he assures Scott that he'll keep an eye on his sister. As Lulu grapples with what to do, Jason arrives at home to find her waiting for him. She's visibly tense, and Jason immediately picks up on her unease. He tells her that Carly has mentioned Lulu is upset about something involving Liz, and he asks her directly what's going on. Lulu, unable to hold it in any longer, demands to know if Jason knows the truth, if he knows that Liz's baby is his. Jason, taken aback, is floored by the question. He never expected anyone to find out about the paternity test, least of all Lulu.
I mean, that's kind of fair.
Well, when you have people poking around in medical records, you don't know what they're going to find. You should have been more careful, bro.
Yeah. But remember, he also didn't really know Spinelli's skills at the time.
I guess that's true. And I don't know why Spinelli needed to tell Lulu.
I would think that he wasn't going to, but he's also not a very good liar. And this is when he had the crush on Lulu.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that.
So Lulu, after a long pause, tells Jason she knows about the baby's paternity. She doesn't mince words. She tells him that the test results confirmed he is the father. Jason tries to keep his composure, but the weight of Lulu's words press heavily on him. He explains that Liz had walked in on Maxie and Lucky that night, the same night he had walked in on Sam and Rick. The two of them had found solace in each other's arms in a myriad of shared pain, but Jason is clear that it was a one-time mistake and nothing more. Lulu listens carefully, but her frustration is palpable. She tells him that he owes it to Lucky to tell him the truth. Jason counters, insisting that it would only hurt Lucky and destroy everything he's worked for. The two argue back and forth, but it's clear that Jason is torn. As the tension builds, Lulu walks away, leaving Jason to wrestle with his feelings. Okay, so this is exactly what Lulu is dealing with right now, with knowing that Dante is the father of Brooklyn's baby.
Yep.
See what Lulu chose to do almost 20 years ago. As she leaves, Jason feels an overwhelming sense of relief, At least for now, the secret is still safe, but deep down, he knows it won't stay hidden forever. The truth about the baby and about his relationship with Liz isn't something that can stay buried. Jason, caught in a web of love, loyalty, and duty, is left questioning what the right thing to do really is. The Spencer household is brimming with tension as Scott Baldwin presses Lucky and Liz about telling Lulu the truth regarding Luke and Laura's troubled past, including the secret surrounding the rape. Liz and Lucky brush him off, telling him it's none of his business, but the conversation plants a seed of doubt in Lucky's mind. He begins to wrestle with whether or not he should reveal the truth to Lulu, unsure of the consequences. Later, Lulu arrives at the Spencer house looking uneasy. She begins asking Lucky about his relationship with Liz, probing deeper into whether he's truly happy with her. Lucky reassures her that all relationships have their challenges, but Liz has always been there for him. Just as they're having this heart-to-heart, Liz comes downstairs and the conversation shifts. Lulu is on the verge of revealing the truth about the baby's paternity, but instead she mentions Scott's concern about the family hiding secrets. Liz tries to deflect, suggesting that sometimes secrets are kept to protect people from painful truths. As Lucky and Liz leave the house, Scott returns visibly upset. He's received a cryptic text from Maxie, Cooper, and Logan, and though he believes it's from Lulu, he doesn't press the issue further until Logan unexpectedly arrives. After an awkward exchange, Scott leaves and Lulu vents her frustration to Logan, though she is not happy to see him there. Meanwhile, at Jason's penthouse, Lulu confides in him about the paternity secret. Admitting that she wishes she hadn't learned the truth, she asks Jason what he will do when he sees Liz with the baby, reflecting on her own painful experiences with pregnancy and her past relationships. Jason acknowledges the constant weight of truth, but he doesn't know how to stay away from the child he knows is his. He struggles with the idea of telling Sam, knowing the impact could have on her. Lulu, sensing Jason's turmoil, offers the idea of Sam potentially becoming a stepmom, but Jason knows that would only lead to further complications. Later, Liz and Lucky visit Nicholas, who's visibly sick. They express concern for him, but Nicholas, in his usual withdrawn manner, pushes them away, explaining that he's busy with an important business deal and can't attend the wedding. Lucky, sensing that there's more going on, confronts Nicholas about his behavior, particularly towards Emily, who is clearly hurt by him. Nicholas brushes him off too, focused on his business dealings. Then Lulu eavesdrops on a conversation between Luke and Laura. And Luke is talking to Laura. Laura's not engaged in this conversation. Luke reveals that Lucky and Liz have chosen the name Laura for the baby if it's a girl, a sentiment that tugs at Lulu's heart. After Luke leaves, Lulu visits Laura and tearfully confides in her, telling her that Scott, not Laura, killed Rick Weber. Lulu hopes the news might trigger Laura to wake up, but she understands the reality of the situation. Laura may never wake up, and even if she did, the truth could lead to devastating consequences for her family. Lulu doesn't stop there. In a moment of deep anguish, she also reveals another secret to Laura. Jason is the father of Liz's baby, not Lucky. With a heavy heart, Lulu expresses her internal conflict, knowing that the truth will shatter Lucky if it comes to light. She reflects on the lessons she has learned from Laura, how she kept Nicholas a secret from Luke for years, and wishes that her mother could guide her now. And that's basically what Laura just talked about with Lulu.
Yes.
And if you're listening years from now, this is when Lulu is torn about telling Dante about the baby that he fathered with Brooklyn. As Lulu leaves, Scott pays Laura a visit, and he admits, with an air of remorse, that he accidentally killed Rick Weber while trying to protect Laura. So here's the thing. Lulu overheard the conversation with Luke, and she didn't think, oh, geez, someone could overhear what I am telling my mom.
Nope. That never happens.
Continued to do it. Okay. He apologizes for letting her take the blame, confessing that he's carried the burden of that day every single day. He tells Laura that he loves her, but whether or not she will ever hear or respond is uncertain. Meanwhile, Leslie arrives to help Liz and Lucky prepare for the wedding festivities. After giving them a rundown on the wedding details, she steps out for some errands, leaving Liz and Lucky to reflect on their future. Luke arrives to check in on his son and notes how the baby brought happiness to Lucky's life, but Liz can't shake the overwhelming guilt she feels about the truth she is hiding.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
At the penthouse, Jason is awakened by a nightmare about telling Lucky the truth. He's conflicted, knowing he can't continue to live with the secret, but unsure of how to come clean. Amelia shows up unexpectedly, accusing Jason of being the reason she turned down a previous offer and asking him to reconsider his position. Jason, in typical fashion, brushes her off, telling her not to let him stand in the way of her decisions, but deep down he knows that his own life is a tangled mess of secrets and he's struggling to find a way out. That is the same thing.
Okay. As Liz and Lucky's wedding day arrives, tension runs high among those closest to them. Lulu heads to Kelly's, where Maxie wastes no time in confronting her about the wedding. Maxie insists that Liz is marrying Lucky not out of love but to preserve her image, calling her out for hiding the truth. Lulu, already overwhelmed by the secret she's keeping, lashes out and slaps Maxie when she crosses a line. Spinelli steps in to defuse the situation, warning Maxie to leave Lulu alone. He later listens as Lulu, still torn over the paternity secret, admits that she despises what she knows, but she can't shake Maxie's words about Liz. Spinelli tries to offer comfort, encouraging Lulu to stay calm before the ceremony. Meanwhile, Liz is struggling with cold feet. She's unsure if marrying Lucky is the right choice, especially under the pressure of her pregnancy. Emily arrives to help Liz get ready, offering her support, but also gently suggesting Liz shouldn't marry if she isn't fully ready. Liz insists she's doing the right thing, loving Lucky despite the doubts. Just as Emily is called away to the hospital, she promises to return by the time of the reception. Before leaving, Emily tells Lulu that Liz wants to talk to her. Upstairs, Liz asks Lulu to stand in as maid of honor, a request that catches Lulu off guard. In an emotional moment, Lulu almost reveals the truth about the baby's paternity, but hesitates when Bobby and Leslie walk in. Meanwhile, Nicholas arrives at the wedding venue to apologize to Lucky, asking about Emily's whereabouts. Lucky explains that she's gone to the hospital, allowing for a brief respite from the tension. Jason's still wrestling with his feelings about Liz's pregnancy, and the secret he's keeping is unexpectedly approached by Carly. She begs him to attend the wedding as her date, asking him to help her navigate the uncomfortable family dynamic, particularly with Luke. Jason hesitates, knowing the situation is delicate with Liz. However, Carly's insistence eventually convinces him to attend, though he remains uneasy about the whole affair. That's just ridiculous. Like, Carly, I know she asks for things that she shouldn't ask for, but that's absurd. Like,
yeah.
Hey.
Especially since she knows. Like, that's
right. Exactly.
If she didn't know, completely different thing.
Right. Hey, you want to go to your baby mama's wedding with me? It's fine that you'll be uncomfortable, but I just need someone to make me feel less uncomfortable. So come on.
Right.
Spinelli, always the wild card, shows up dressed in a suit and a purple hat, warning Liz's family not to reveal the truth during the ceremony. As the wedding ceremony begins, Liz walks down the aisle with Lucky, but her eyes immediately lock onto Jason, causing a ripple of unease. The vows are exchanged, but when the priest asks if anyone objects, it's Spinelli who steps forward with an impassionate anti-marriage speech. Lulu, unable to stay quiet, drags Spinelli out, and Maxie, eavesdropping outside, seizes the moment to call out Liz's hypocrisy. Despite the chaos, the ceremony proceeds, and Lucky and Liz are officially married. At the reception, Lulu offers a passive-aggressive congratulations, and Luke delivers a toast to winners in love, a remark that doesn't go unnoticed. Carly quietly warns Liz about staying away from Jason as she brings Jason to her wedding. And Spinelli awkwardly tries to bond with Carly's father, Luke. The night ends with a bittersweet note as Spinelli, still high on love, fails to connect with Luke. Afterwards, Lulu and Jason discuss the complicated situation with Liz's baby. Jason, having gained some clarity, reflects on the parallels of his past with Michael and the heartache of keeping secrets. Lulu encourages him to consider a future where he's involved in the child's life, but Jason insists that the situation is best left as it is. Later at the Spencer house, Lulu shares her concerns with Liz, urging her not to hurt her brother. Liz and Lucky share a quiet wedding night, agreeing not to make love as Liz struggles with her self-image due to her pregnancy. In a moment of reflection, Jason visits AJ's grave, finally coming to terms with the pain AJ must have felt when he lost Michael. He apologizes for not allowing AJ to be a part of Michael's life, acknowledging the parallel to his own struggles now with Liz. Jason, haunted by the sacrifices he's made, finds himself emotionally unraveling. At the penthouse, he recalls Liz's emotional plea, her voice trembling as she begged him to let Lucky raise their child. She had insisted it was for the best, for everyone's peace, and Jason had agreed, but the price is beginning to crush him. Sonny interrupts Jason's thoughts with his own crisis. Carly slept with Jax. Jason delivers the news flatly, but his mind is clearly elsewhere. Sonny is furious, but Jason reminds him almost hollowly that Carly had already made it clear she didn't want to be married to him. The conversation is short, and once Sonny leaves, Jason heads to his office only to find Spinelli parked behind Sonny's desk, deep into the system. Spinelli explains he needed privacy to delete the paternity test records. Jason, alarmed that they weren't already erased, demanded he delete them immediately. After the files are gone, Spinelli, ever eager to offer comfort, brings up Liz's ultrasounds. He suggests pulling up images so they can see the baby, even musing about baby names, mentioning Lulu as a beautiful name. But Jason cuts him off, the pain bubbling to the surface. He tells Spinelli he doesn't get to name his child. He refuses to look at any images. The more he sees, the more attached he'll become, and that's exactly what he can't afford. He leaves abruptly, heavy with regret. Meanwhile, at Kelly's, Liz tries to keep life normal, inviting Lulu to join her and Cameron for a walk in the park. Lulu, however, brushes her off, saying she needs to study. Her coldness catches Liz off guard. When Liz presses, Lulu finally snaps, saying it just doesn't make sense how Liz was so adamantly against reuniting with Lucky, then suddenly marries him. Before the conversation escalates, Lucky arrives and unknowingly diffuses the tension with his usual cheer. At the park later, Jason stumbles upon Liz and Cameron. Trying to reconnect, he offers to push Cameron on the swings. Liz watches Jason with her son and can't help but cry. Jason gently asks what's wrong, and Liz confesses that seeing him with Cameron only reminds her of what a natural father he is and how painful it must be for him to stay away from the baby that's truly his. She asks if he changed his mind, if he still believes this arrangement is best. Jason doesn't answer directly. He just watches Cameron laughing. The ache in his silence speaks volumes. Back at Kelly's, Lulu vents to Spinelli, torn between loyalty to her brother and her knowledge of the truth. She's terrified that if Jason and Liz's secret is exposed, it will send Lucky spiraling back into addiction. She doesn't want to carry that responsibility. Their conversation is interrupted when Dylan and Milo arrive, both continuing their campaign for Lulu's attention. Mike steps in before the bickering gets out of hand. Ultimately, Lulu announces her plan, a trial date with each of them. The rivalry only intensifies. In another corner of General Hospital, Maxie watches an officer being wheeled in with a gunshot wound. Lucky approaches and they quietly mark the anniversary of Jesse's death. Both reflect on the mistakes they've made since then, but when Maxie sees Liz nearby, she snaps. In front of both Lucky and Liz, she accuses Liz of lying and pretending. She says she may have faked a pregnancy, but what Liz is doing, keeping the truth from Lucky, is far worse. She insists Liz doesn't really love him. Lucky is stunned. Liz is speechless. Later, Liz tries to refocus at work, telling Rodriguez that the wounded officer will survive. Rodriguez credits Lucky for saving the man's life. Meanwhile, on the docks, Jason sees Liz again. She's shaken from the day's events and confesses how conflicted she is. Lucky had risked his life again, just like Jason would. She admits she's a hypocrite for judging Jason's dangerous lifestyle when Lucky faces similar risks. As she talks, the baby kicks, and she invites Jason to feel it. For a moment, time slows. Jason touches her stomach, feeling his child for the first time. Liz mentions the recent ultrasound and says she's going to get him a copy. Jason declines, forcing a smile, saying he just wants her and the baby to be happy. Unbeknownst to them, Lucky arrived just in time to witness the intimate moment. Later, Lucky and Lulu walk in on Jason again with Liz. Neither reacts outwardly, but the air is thick with tension. After Jason and Lulu leave, Lucky confronts Liz. He tells her he knows she's worried about his job and the stress it might bring. He promises he's strong and he's committed to staying sober for her and their family. Liz says she believes in him, but her fear lingers. Later at the hospital, Emily and Patrick drop a bombshell. Nicholas and Robin are having an affair. Liz is floored. When Lucky and Cameron arrive, she shares the news with them. Another layer of emotional weight added to an already fragile balance. I don't remember why we were saying Nicholas and Robin.
I don't either. As Liz's pregnancy progresses, Jason continues to wrestle with the emotional weight of giving up his child. When Lulu urges him to talk with someone objective about staying out of his baby's life, she suggests Carly. Jason immediately refuses, knowing Carly's temper and fearing she'd confront Liz. Lulu, however, points out that Carly was the only person she could talk to when she once considered having an abortion, someone who might understand more than Jason thinks. But he already told Carly.
Right.
Maybe she just means, go to her for...
talk it through, because he shut down. Yeah.
Later, Jason receives a package, a sonogram photo from Liz, accompanied by a note saying she hoped it would help.
Nope.
Clearly affected.
And he already told her, don't do that.
Jason stares at the image before hiding it away. Carly walks in just in time to notice, prompting Jason to quickly stash the photo in a box. Moments later, after she leaves, he pulls the picture back out, only to toss it in the fireplace, watching it burn as Sam arrives home. She's upbeat, full of stories about the party that she's attended, but Jason is distracted and emotionally closed off. At Kelly's, Lulu confides in Spinelli, begging him to convince Jason to tell Lucky the truth. Okay. Spinelli, though awkward and unsure, is the one person who might influence Jason. Meanwhile, Lucky and Liz try to find out the baby's sex during a sonogram, but the baby doesn't cooperate. The couple share a warm moment, interrupted when Lulu calls Lucky, asking to meet. Sensing her worry, Lucky reassures her that he hasn't relapsed and that he and Liz are happier than ever. He shares that they're excited about the baby and can't wait to meet their child. Interesting. Okay, she sent the sonogram before, but whatever. Back home, Sam sensed Jason is in trouble. He admitted that something's wrong, but he says he doesn't know how to explain it. She gently encourages him to try. Later, Jason sees Liz and Lucky together at the hospital, and he retreats to his office, sitting in the dark, visibly burdened. Spinelli finds him there and gently urges Jason to reconsider staying out of his child's life. He reminds Jason that he sees him as the older brother that he had never had, and that denying his child a father like him is unfair. Spinelli warns that one day the truth will come out and the child will feel abandoned. Before Jason can respond, Lulu arrives and firmly tells them both Lucky can never know the truth. At the hospital, Lucky picks up on Liz's hesitancy about choosing a Spencer family name for the baby. She brushes it off and they share an affectionate moment. Meanwhile, Lulu and Spinelli continue to debate what Jason should do. Spinelli believes Jason must be honest, then Lulu fears the fallout. Gee, I don't know, maybe just like what happened with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Their argument grows heated, and when Lulu hurts Spinelli's feelings, Jason intervenes. Alone with Lulu, she confesses she's conflicted, but ultimately believes Jason and Liz made the right decision. Jason's alone with Lulu at that point, I guess. She pleads with Jason to honor it for Lucky's sake. Later, Sam and Lucky find themselves stuck in an elevator on their way to dinner. Their conversation drifts to Jason and Liz. Sam asks Lucky if seeing the two of them together ever bothers him, hinting at past doubts. He's confused by the question. Meanwhile, in the Metro Court lobby, Liz and Jason speak privately. Liz begs him not to destroy her family by telling the truth. Jason says the ultrasound photos, though well-meaning, only make things harder by reminding him of what he'll never have. You know, just like he has repeatedly said.
Right.
I am trying to move on.
Oh my gosh.
Back in the elevator, Sam opens up to Lucky. She confesses that she was once jealous of Liz, wanting a family with Jason herself, but now she understands that a baby doesn't fix everything. Across town, Lulu visits Liz and talks about her own romantic confusion. Liz offers some insight. You can love more than one person, but you can only truly commit to one. Lulu quietly wonders if Liz has made the right commitment. Later at Kelly's, Jason and Sam are ambushed by reporters throwing accusations and invasive questions. Sam is mortified, and Mike chases the reporters out with a baseball bat, but the damage is done. Sam apologizes repeatedly, guilt-ridden over how her fame is affecting Jason. Liz and Lucky arrive and try to ease the tension. Liz compliments Sam's courage and heroism during the hotel hostage crisis, calling her a perfect fit for her new TV show. Sam is touched by the support. As Sam heads to the Metro Court to meet with Amelia, Lulu and Spinelli also arrive at Kelly's. Lulu watches Jason's reaction to Liz and worries. She fears that one day Liz might change her mind and tell Lucky the truth, shattering him. Later at the hospital, Lulu makes a suspicious appearance to schedule another physical therapy appointment in person. Liz finds it odd, and when she asks why, Lulu changes the subject, then questions Liz's love for Lucky. Liz insists that she is happy and in love, even if Lulu doubts it. Soon after, Lucky visits Liz, only for her to double over in pain. She is having contractions. Lucky calls for help, and panic rises.
I would really be annoyed if every time I talked to someone, they asked me if I was making the right choice and wanted to be all up in my personal business. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's your brother, but we already had this conversation like 6 times. Can you stop having the same conversation with me?
Nope.
Back at the coffee
It's
shop.
Lulu. She doesn't stop until she gets the answer she
I guess
wants.
that's true. Some things never change. Back at the coffee shop, Maxie corners Jason, asking him to give Logan a job in exchange for inside police info. Jason refuses, and when Lulu arrives and warns Jason not to trust Maxie, the two women argue bitterly. After Maxie storms off, Lulu tells Jason she's worried about his ability to keep the secret. She saw his reaction to Liz at Kelly's and warns that Lucky will eventually pick up on it too. Jason tries to brush it off and even jokes about Spinelli's latest mishap, damaging his motorcycle, but it's clear the weight of the secret is growing harder to bear. As Liz goes into labor, Lucky waits by her side at the hospital, relieved she and the baby are okay. Though Liz encourages him to go, Max sends him back, reminding him that his place is with his wife. Meanwhile, Lulu checks in on Liz and updates her on the recent shootout. Liz is shaken by the news about Sonny's concussion, but is quietly relieved to hear Jason is unharmed. When Liz expresses how much she and Lucky owe Jason, Lulu gently suggests she consider letting him be a part of the baby's life, an idea quickly shelved when Lucky returns. Spinelli, hearing Liz is in labor, panics and nearly slips to Sam that he should be told, clearly meaning Jason. Despite the chaos, Amelia pressures Sam to return to work on her new TV show. Spinelli later finds Jason and subtly informs him about Liz. Jason checks in with Patrick at the hospital, but masks his true concern. Spinelli unexpectedly shows up in Liz's hospital room with a camera, offering to film the birth. Lulu covers and they retreat to the hallway where Spinelli confesses it's for Jason. Jason soon arrives, missing Liz and Lucky, but running into Lulu, who offers to quietly feed him baby updates. Back at the penthouse, Spinelli confesses to Jason that he borrowed and dented the motorcycle. Jason brushes it off, telling him it's just a bike. Touched, Spinelli says Jason would have made a great dad. Like, those aren't comments that are helpful either. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
thanks for not yelling at me about the bike. Not, man, you'd be a great dad.
Right.
Later, Lulu catches Spinelli at the coffee shop hacking into Liz's medical records. He admits he's been tracking the baby's progress to keep Jason informed, wrestling with the guilt of keeping Jason in the dark. Lulu sympathizes but reminds him it's Jason and Liz's decision. At the TV studio, Jason visits Sam.
Hold it, wait, what was, oh, that's right, hold it. No, her big issue is that Dante didn't have a decision. Never mind.
Right. At the TV studio, Jason visits Sam just before her first taping. Amelia quickly hides Sam's old aliases and photos from him. From Jason? Why is she hiding them from Jason? Okay.
Maybe she still doesn't know all of them,
I don't know.
or he doesn't know all of them.
Maybe? I don't know. A nosy reporter shows up, prompting Jason to leave. Alone, Sam vents to Amelia about her past, her lost pregnancy with Sonny, and how this new job might be the closest she'll come to having a family. Just before filming, Amelia spots a light fixture about to fall on Sam and shouts a warning.
I think because it was Amelia hiding them, so she didn't want Jason to know that she had them.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought she was hiding them like from Jason, like he didn't know. And I'm like, doesn't he know everything? But anyway, Meanwhile, Liz takes Cameron out for a walk and runs into Jason on the pier. Concerned about her overextension, Jason offers them a ride back to her place. Liz invites him in for cookies and conversation. As Jason plays with Cameron, Liz observes how painful it is for him to be near his own child without being acknowledged as the father. They talk openly. Liz insists the secret was meant to protect everyone, but Jason wonders if it's really what's best for the baby. Liz admits it's killing her to see his sacrifice and that despite loving other people, her love for him hasn't disappeared. But they both know it wouldn't work. Liz can't live with the danger that comes with Jason's life. He tells her not to feel guilty and leaves with both of them in tears. When Lucky gets home and sees the toy Liz brought back, she tells him Jason helped. He grows uneasy and asks why they keep running into Jason. Liz brushes it off, but Lucky surprisingly suggests Jason might be a good father. Later, Sunny picks up on Jason's distraction. Jason opens up, reflecting on fatherhood, saying he never understood what it felt like to be shut out of a child's life until now. Spinelli urges Jason to confide in Sam, telling him he doesn't have to go through this alone. Meanwhile, Lucky again brings up the idea of Jason being godfather.
What he had said before. He said that before.
What in the heck? Liz is hesitant after Lucky leaves. Emily visits Liz and gently points out that giving Jason that role would permanently link him to the baby. Lucky ultimately reconsiders after the studio shooting and tells Liz he changed his mind. She is quietly relieved. Yeah, because that was absurd.
The penthouse, Spinelli greets Carly with nervous energy, hinting at Jason's secret. Carly assumes that he is talking about Lulu and the wedding, but grows suspicious. When Lulu arrives, both she and Spinelli express concern for Jason, who is taken off on his motorcycle. Carly panics, insisting she can't get married without Jason there. Not worried about what he's going through.
Right.
Spinelli is relieved when Jason eventually returns. Dressed in Jason's tuxedo, he explains how he had filled in at the rehearsal. Jason regrets missing it. You don't dress in the suit for rehearsal.
No.
Oh, Spinelli. Spinelli, unable to hold back, brings up the baby again, desperately wanting Jason to reconsider staying silent. I don't know how Jason has not smacked the crap out of all of them. He is like such a good friend.
He is.
At the wedding reception, Jason quietly approaches Liz, asking how she and the baby are doing. She says that they're fine. The due date's approaching fast. Their moment is brief. Jason then reluctantly dances with Carly, who thanks him for always being by her side. Liz watches the dance from across the room, rubbing her belly, while Sam watches Liz in return. Later, tipsy Sam vents to Jason at home, mentioning that Liz had been watching him. She rambles on and let it slip that once she picked out a wedding dress, but brushes it off as drunken nonsense. At a prenatal checkup, Liz and Lucky learn the baby could arrive any day. When Lucky steps away to get the car, Liz stays with Emily and jokes about going into labor alone. You don't joke about that.
No.
Liz grows serious and says the baby needs its father there. That thought prompts her to call Jason. Meanwhile, Jason has been staring at ultrasound images, still uncertain about the baby's gender. I thought he burned. Maybe he got more. Maybe she was like, you said you didn't want him, but I'm giving you more.
Right, exactly. We just said that she sent one and then she was there for another one. So she sent a copy of that one too.
Silly Jason. He said that on opposite day. Spinelli Spinelli urges him to come forward, saying the baby deserves to know his father. Liz arrives soon after. She tells Jason that if something happens during labor, if she can't speak for herself, he must step in. The baby might need him, and Jason quietly agrees. Lucky, meanwhile, meets with Mac about returning to duty. Afterwards, Scott corners Lucky, pressuring him to support Scott's bid for Laura's guardianship. Lucky refuses to be manipulated. Mac soon sends him out on patrol ahead of an approaching storm. As the storm hits, Liz insists on staying home alone, urging Lucky to stop hovering. Okay, even if she had a perfectly healthy, no multiple pass-outs, no multiple times going to the hospital, things like that. If you are told the baby could come any moment and you know that there is a huge storm coming, you go somewhere else.
Right.
You go.
Exactly.
You have someone come over. I mean, that's, especially if you have another child.
Yeah.
That's just standard, I feel.
Yep.
After he leaves, she naps but awakes in pain, bleeding heavily. She tries to call for help, but the phone has no signal. Keys in hand, she collapses before reaching the door. Jason heading out as Sam returns to the penthouse, kisses her goodbye and leaves. At Liz's house, he finds her unconscious. Without hesitation, he rushes her to the hospital. Dr. Lee orders an emergency operation. Jason watches, powerless, as Liz and the baby fight for their lives. The baby's heart rate plummets. Kelly shouts, "We're losing him," and the paddles are prepared. Jason watches, heart in his throat. Meanwhile, Amelia convinces Sunny to lift the injunction against Sam's show. She urges Sam to leave town, embrace her rising stardom. But Sam hesitates. She just wants her life with Jason. Sudden sense of dread hits her. She knows that something is wrong. Back at the hospital, the baby is born. Kelly stabilizes Liz, and she's moved to recovery. Jason sits by her side, cradling their newborn son. When Liz wakes, she sees Jason holding the baby. He gently hands her their child. Exhausted, she asks him to return the baby to the bassinet just as Lucky enters, asking to hold the baby himself. Learning what happened, Lucky thanks Jason for saving them both. Outside, Lulu finds Jason and offers a quiet moment of support. As they talk, a monitor alarm sounds. Lucky calls for help from inside Liz's room. Something is wrong. Jason rushes in to Liz unconscious again as Lucky sits beside her holding their child. This is just hard.
Seriously, I do get that it's a soap, and so obviously they try to bring up stuff to add to the drama, but I feel like one of the writers should have been like, okay, can we just stop? Like, every time that these people see Liz, they're like, are you sure? Are you sure that's how you feel? Are you sure that's what you want? Are you
Right?
sure that's what you think? And every time that somebody sees Jason, they're like, are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want? Oh, you don't want pictures? Here, let me send you 16 of them. Like, what?
Even if it's one day apart, even if it's once a day that they're asking this, even if it's twice a week, still a lot.
Exactly. Can you please tell me something in your life that you like think about and don't want to think about so I can text you every day and be like, you're not thinking about that thing, are you?
Sure,
You're not
I'll do
feeling
that.
sad right now.
Right. What is the absolutely most devastating thing to you right now that you are trying to heal from and figure out a way to live with? So I'm going to remind you that it's not going to happen.
Exactly. Hey, you having a good day? I just wanted to remind you about that thing that you're upset about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so baby's born. Liz is unconscious. Ah!
Spoiler alert, it all turns out okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess join us on Monday as we recap this week's shows.
Have a good weekend.
And we'll meet at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.